Hello, welcome to Movie Time. Today I'm going to explain you about a 2012 Korean thriller film called Deranged. The story of the movie begins with Jae Hyuk. Jae Hyuk works at a pharmaceutical company. He has a younger brother named Jae Pil, who works for the police. Jae Pil's fiancée Yeon Ju is a doctor. In a scene of the movie, early in the morning a couple was walking beside a river. Suddenly the guy saw something strange. He tried to look closely, but fell into the water. He saw a dead body in the water in a horrible condition. Jae Pil arrives at the investigation scene as in charge. One of his co-worker warns him before see the body. Jae Pil horrified to see the dead body. The investigators finds out this woman was sleeping with her husband that night and has no idea how she disappeared. They also found that the body has reduced of skins and bones, which is impossible to happen overnight. Later that night many more bodies had been found drifting in the river. The news said that there have been 58 bodies found so far. But Jae Hyuk didn't care about the news and he left for his work. On the other side, the woman that found dead yesterday, her husband and kids also found dead this morning. Police found some pictures of the family outing on Gangwon-do River where many more bodies found yesterday. So they're suspecting this deaths might happen because toxic water of the river. That morning Jae Hyuk went for golfing with his boss. His boss was feeling tired and sick and drinking water constantly. Suddenly, without thinking too much, he ran over and jumped into the lake. But he was drowning and screamed for help. Jae Hyuk rushes to save him. But he was already dead in a horrific way. When Jae Hyuk came back home from work, he saw his wife and kids are also drinking water constantly. That night Jae Pil stay over the night near the river where those bodies been found. He talks to Yeon Ju. Then fell asleep. When he wakes up in the morning, he sees many dead bodies in the river. On that day, more been dead bodies found in the river from different cities of the country. The most shocking thing was that some strange creatures were found in the water beside the bodies. The scientists find out that these organisms are parasitic horsehair worms that normally use insects as hosts but became mutated into a new form that allows them to infect human bodies as well. When Yeon Ju asked that, how they got into human bodies, the scientist replied, the people who died must have come into contact with water where those parasites used to live. Those parasites entered the victim's body through their mouth and attached themselves to their organs until they become fully matured insects. The host human unknowingly supplies them nutrients by whatever food they ate. When the parasite grows completely into insect, the human feels excessive thirst and ends up throwing themselves into water. That is when the insects leaves the body. Yeon Ju tried to see the water in the telescope and found small larvae in the water, and it was confirmed that the scientist was right. Then the Ministry of Health announced on TV that the reason of these unexplained mass deaths in recent months have been caused by mutant horsehair worms. That's why if anyone have suffered from a severe thirst over the past few days, then they must visit their nearest hospital for an immediate checkup. After hearing the news, Jae Hyuk immediately rushed to his home. Jae Hyuk went home and saw that everyone was still drinking water. Then Jae Hyuk asked his wife if she took the kids to the river this summer. Jae Hyuk's wife replied she went with her friend who recently died. Jae Hyuk told them to get ready, they have to go to the hospital immediately. Jae Hyuk's wife asked why they need to go to the hospital. Jae Hyuk said, because they has same symptoms of drinking water constantly, as in the news saying. The Ministry of Health plans to advise the public to take anti-worm medicine. At first some people are skeptical, but they say that since these are worm diseases it will not be a problem. They took clinical trials with a few patients but the patients died instead. But since the Ministry of Health announced the approval of the anti-worm medicine, but by then, many people had already died from taking that medicine. Then the administration immediately said not to take those medicines. Meanwhile, Jae Hyuk was arranging for his family to be taken to the hospital. Suddenly, Jae Hyuk's wife feels very thirsty. And she tried to dip her head in the kitchen water. Jae Hyuk saves his wife with great force. His children were also started screaming for water. Jae Hyuk kept them away from the water with great difficulty. Just then, everyone started running around thirsty for water. In the canals, in the swimming pools, people jumped wherever they saw water. At one time, their only dead bodies could be. The government declared a national health emergency. The number of deaths surpassed 3,000 and 100,000 confirmed cases of infection nationwide. Then, the old man of the village reveals a big secret to Jae Pil. The incident happened last summer. One late night, he saw some people coming and throwing of some diseased dogs into the river. But he secretly collected all the bodies and burned them without informing the police. Because a few days later, tourists from different places were supposed to come for summer vacation in this place. A few days later, the body of a family was found in the river. Jay Hayek arrives at the quarantine center with his family. That's when the health ministry officials been informed that a patient had been cured by taking another company's anti-worm medicine. Everyone goes to him and finds out the name of the drug is Windazole. Jay Hayek found out that the medicine from that company where he works. But he did not found that medicine in any pharmacy. By then, people have started rushing to the pharmacies for the medicine. The health ministry learned that the company had to stop their production of Windazole due to low sales. The news also said that people went to different pharmacies and did not get this medicine anywhere. The company will start their production soon. That's when it was announced that family members who are not infected have to leave the quarantine center. When Jay Hayek arrived, he saw that no family members were being allowed inside. Jay Hayek entered the other direction and tried to communicate with his wife. When his wife asked him if he had found the medicine, Jay Hayek said he did not found it but would bring it soon. Then, even that night, many people jumped into the water and died. And the patients at the isolation center also screamed for water. It turned out that this kind of incident only happens at night. And infected patients who were not at the isolation center, they all died. Then the Ministry of Health been informed that the company that was supposed to supply the medicines has not produced any single pill yet. An emergency meeting of the cabinet and the health ministry is held. They asked Joa Pharmacy to hand over the chemical components of their Windazole to the government so that the government could manufacture the medicine with other manufacturers' company. Then the Prime Minister gave the order to the Ministry of Health to contact Joa Pharmacy directly. Meanwhile, Jay Hayek's colleague called him to say that he has found the medicine. By the time Jay Hayek arrives at Joa Pharmacy's factory, there was already a big crowd. They were all looking for the medicine. Jay Hayek went inside and bought medicines at a high price. As he was leaving, he saw a mother in distress with her sick child. He felt very sorry for them. Jay Hayek gets out of the car and gives her some medicine. Just then someone saw him and all the people rushed towards him. He got into the car, but people pulled him out. Everyone tried to snatch the medicine from him. At one point, they ruined the medicine. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health informed the Prime Minister that Joa Pharmacy did not agree to their proposal. And the government has no legal right to force the company to disclose the drug's recipe either. Meanwhile, Jay Hayek and his colleagues began to think that those horsehair worms are not any kinds of virus, yet how did the infection spread among the people so fast? How did Windazole disappeared from market so quickly? 100,000 boxes were released in the market. Each box contains 4 doses, meaning enough for 400,000 people. And within a few hours of announcement the medicine went out of stock. Jay Hayek started thinking that maybe those medicines are not actually sold out, maybe someone is hiding them, maybe it's being sold on the black market. Meanwhile, Jay Pill found out that the names of the people who bought the partnership from Joa Pharmacy are unknown, but they found one identity who was working as a researcher there. Jay Hayek did a lot of searching online and he found someone who was secretly selling those medicine. Jay Hayek arrives at a hotel room according to the address given by the seller. Whenever he goes to get the medicine, after paying the money, Jay Pill arrests him under police duty. Jay Pill pressured him to tell the truth. Finally, that guy confessed the truth. Before Joa Pharmacy was bought by another company. A team of them was doing research on how to cure brain diseases by horsehair worms. The team was successful in making a mutant version of the worm, but then another company bought Joa Pharmacy and they had to stop researching. Those researchers were very angry about it and made an evil plan. They bought several shares of the company, released the infected dog into the river, and marketed Windazole as a common anti-worm medicine. But they hid the 100,000 boxes if they wanted to sell the Windazole when the demand for the medicine will increase. Jay Pill called Jay Hayek and asked him to come there. When Jay Hayek arrived, all the medicine boxes were hidden in an old warehouse, but then someone came and set the house on fire. That researcher died in that fire. When Jay Hayek woke up from unconsciousness, he saw that all the medicine had been burned. Then his wife calls him, and Jay Hayek promises his children that he will bring medicine. Then Jay Hayek remember an incident where he was making homemade soaps, which were star and triangular in shape. His son told him that soaps are usually round or rectangular in shape. Jay Hayek told him that it doesn't matter what shape it is, as long as it has the right ingredients inside. Jay Hayek decides to make his own medicine with the ingredients of Windazole. That's when Jay Pill learned that the researcher had just died. He was a close friend of the CEO of the Ministry of Health. Which means the entire plan was premeditated and taken out by the CEO and the researchers from the beginning. Meanwhile, the CEO suggests that the government should buy the company, which would allow them to find out the drug's composition and make more of it for the rapidly increasing number of patients. The Prime Minister just about to sign the contract, that's when he was informed that CEO is mastermind of the scam. Jay Hayek tells Jay Pill to leave and to take care of his family until he come back. People were protesting outside of the Joa Pharmacy's factory when Jay Hayek asked them to help. Jay Hayek gets inside with the van, then when security goes to stop, the administration forbade them to stop him. Jay Hayek takes all the ingredients out of Joa Pharmacy's warehouse, then the other manufacturers start making the medicine immediately. Then Yi and Ju informed everyone that the crude drug just passed on to the Pharmaceutical Association. With the collective help of more than 20 pharmaceutical manufacturers, the medicine delivered to every quarantine stations. Jay Hayek finally meets his family again. And the CEO got arrested for the scam. The movie ends with Jay Hayek and his family spending time at an amusement park. Jay Hayek suggests the family go on vacation overseas altogether, preferably to a place with many drugstores. His wife laughs and asks if Jay Hayek is worried that there might be those horseworms in other countries as well. Jay Hayek smiles, but suddenly freezes and whips around as the film suddenly transitions to a scene with a dead body floating in New York Harbor. Like the video and subscribe to our channel for more movie recaps like this. Thanks for watching.